Hi everyone, it's Alece here at healwithalece.com, and today I'll be showing you how to make your own sacred spiritual smudge sticks, okay? So smudge sticks have been around forever. Indigenous and African people have used smudge sticks for ceremonial purposes, cleansing of pollutants in the air, cleansing of body energies, cleansing our crystals in order to facilitate healing in different parts of the mind, body, and soul. So today I wanted to show you how to make your very own smudge stick from things you can typically find at your local grocery store, because it's not hard. It will require a bit of patience, but it's definitely something you can do, and I'm so happy to be able to show you how to do it today. All right, so the first thing you want to do is really identify what plants you want to use, okay? Because different smudge sticks have different components and they have different plants that will be an ally to your physical, emotional, or spiritual healing, or whatever it is you're trying to do. So I chose pink roses, right? This is something I'm going to put in there. And pink roses are important magically and spiritually because they signify manifestation. Pink roses signify grandiose, they signify creativity, and they signify becoming one with yourself and whole and really having a lot of confidence. Purple also spiritually really invocates wisdom, triumph, feeling regal and royal. So purple roses are definitely something that I want to put in my smudge stick. And the next thing I have is this beautiful, beautiful dried lavender, right? You can find this in your floral section at your grocery store. I got these from Whole Foods, but you can find them, or if not, order them. And lavender, my goodness, lavender is actually masculine in action when we're talking about energy, right? So what that means is it's going to have a lot of force. It strengthens pure love. It encourages fertility, and it is uplifting and relaxing. Now, me, I already have 3 kids, so I don't need to necessarily encourage fertility. But when we talk about fertility, it's not just in our wombs. It's talking about fertility in life. So bringing forth something new and birthing something. And I am in the process of birthing a new idea. So I want dried lavender in my bundle because I want support in that area. And guys, it smells so good. So the next thing I chose is eucalyptus, right? So we all know eucalyptus rubs, that some of us make, some products that have eucalyptus, and typically they're used for immune support. Eucalyptus is also extremely protective when it comes to magic and spiritual workings, right? So when you have eucalyptus around the house, it is literally dispelling and banishing negative energy all around us. It is a strong, potent antiviral if you're using the oils. Eucalyptus has also been shown to kill pathogens in the air. So because this is going to be burned, I definitely want eucalyptus in my bundle as well. And what I'm going to use as my base for my bundle, which is what I'm going to put all the other herbs and flowers on top of, are these beauties, right? So these beauties are called ferns, and they're native to America. And ferns in magic are really help with purification, protection, and money. So we want to always be working to attract abundance, right? So that's what this is about. We want abundance. We want to attract it. So I'm going to actually use this as my foundation. Then I also have beautiful, beautiful rosemary, right? These are rosemary bunches. Rosemary is super, super protective. You even have people in magic and hoodoo and other systems of divination that will actually make rosemary brooms, and they sweep out their front porch in the morning and in the evening because they want to sweep away and dispel negative energy. I am always doing that, especially because I'm a psychotherapist and a Reiki practitioner, so I can take on the energy of others. So I constantly am making sure that I have something protective and something strong to sweep that energy away and keep me and my energy field strong and focused. And lastly, these are actual sage leaves. So sage is another one of those things that is highly, highly protective and meditative. So when we want to invoke a feeling, when we want to invoke an energy, I put sage in a lot of my bundles. You don't have to, but I am choosing for this bundle to do that because I want to be protected. And sage is highly, highly clearing, okay? So I want to make sure that I'm constantly clearing energy. I'm going to burn this bundle particularly when I'm doing Reiki sessions or when I get done with telehealth sessions, because it's going to be really important to make sure these elements are clear, make sure my energy field is clear, and make sure that I'm attracting what I want to attract, which is increased love, increased fertility to birth new ideas, increase abundance so that I can use that abundance to share the mission that is Heal With Alece with the community. And I want to be kicking negative energy out the door. So let's get started. So you're going to need your herbs. You're going to need some sort of twine, right? So this is like craft store twine, but it is 100% cotton and it has some gold foil wrapped in. Usually I try to get like 100% cotton twine that you tie like chickens with or something like that, but I can't find any of it. So you use what you got. I should say as well, you want to try to make sure that all your plants are organic or naturally sourced if you can, because you don't want to be burning things in your home that are polluted with chemicals, and we don't want that. And you need scissors. So I'm going to get started. Let me show you. Let's do this, right? So this is my notebook. I always write down, you know, what I'm doing, my steps. So in your dried lavender, these are going to fall off. Don't throw these away. I'm going to save them because at a later date, I'll be making some cosmetics and you can always use dried rosemary in something. So you're going to take your base, right? I like to take my fern. That's going to be my base. So I'm going to take my fern and then you're going to cut this to the size that you think you want your stick. So I think I'm going to have my smudge about that long. So I'm going to cut it right here. So you're going to cut it. You're going to put it down like that. So it looks like that. It's just laying flat. It's not doing anything. And I start with, let's start with this. Let's start with 2, right? Let's start with 2. So you'll put 2 down. I layer them on top of each other because I want it to be nice and thick. Now I am using all fresh. The only thing that's not fresh is the lavender, and I'll tell you why. I couldn't find fresh lavender right now, so I got the dried because I really wanted to be a part of this. But we're going to use fresh because when you use all dried herbs, we have to tie this and it will crumble, which prevents us from being able to have an adequate smudge stick. So you want fresh herbs because remember in the beginning of the video when I talked about patience? Yeah, we're going to have to let this dry out for 2 weeks so that it's nice and secure for burning. So then I'm going to take my rosemary and I'm just gonna layer it right on top. I'm layering it right on top of my fern. So it looks like this. So I'm going to take some more. And you layer it until you feel like it has your desired thickness. And by thickness, I mean like this, right? So that's what you want to do. So I'm going to take some more rosemary. And as you guys can see, this is no science to this. This is literally just you putting in it. And you go with your intuition. I'm going to take my sage now. Put the sage on top. And sage in this is funny. It kind of feels like fur. Like it's a very soft plant. Guys, this room smells so damn good. Oh, it smells so good. I'm going to put some more fern on top because I also want to make sure that this is nice and sturdy when we begin to wrap it. Put a little bit more fern on top. Next, I am, sorry guys, still getting used to filming my own videos. Next, I'm going to take the eucalyptus. Again, you want to make sure that your materials are the same length. So I'm going to cut this. And you want the branches. You don't want to just cut these eucalyptus leaves. You want the branches because you need something to hold your stick together. I'm going to cut that. Make sure that's it. And I'm just eyeballing this. I'll show you how I'm trimming it at the bottom. I just want to show you how it looks as we continue to go. So that's what it looks like. I'm going to do better with my camera angling, y'all. But bear with me, bear with me. So next, I'm going to add my lavender. I wish you guys could smell it. It smells like better than, it smells so good. So I love lavender, so I'm gonna use a lot. I'm gonna use this whole bushel and I'm gonna just cut it. And I don't have special scissors, guys. This is just, you know, what I'm using. Because again, everything in Heal with Alece is about teaching you how to become a self-healer. Yes, there are some things we may still buy. Yes, there are things we may patronage because we want to. But in the end, Heal with Alece is dedicated to showing you how to heal yourself and how to heal others. So we are going to put that right on top. Then I'm going to secure the top of that because that's dried with another fern, right? Because I want it secure. So we got another fern on there. And then here is where I'm not going to use the whole thing, but I'm going to actually take the petals, the rose petals. I'm going to put some petals in there. These smell so good too, y'all. So good. And this already looks so pretty. It's like, you know, when you see on those Etsy boutiques or the Instagram folks who are selling their bundles. I mean, they're so beautiful. I love them. So you want to just take your plant matter, you want to sprinkle it on top, right? So here we have, this is our pile to make our sage bundle. And it's not an only sage bundle, but that's how people are used to hearing them referred to. But they're called a smudge stick. So this is our smudge stick, right? All right. You follow me now? Okay. So the first thing you want to do is, I like to cut a small piece of twine because I'm going to wrap the bottom first. So I make it, I don't know how big this is, but you can kind of see it, right? So don't worry about your rose leaves. We can add those in because they're going to fall off when you immediately pick this up. So I'm picking up everything that I've just layered and wrapped, right? And I'm going to crush it like this. See? I'm crushing it. And the first thing I'm going to do is tie the bottom. I'm going to tie the bottom real tight, and then I'm going to put it down. And you want to start from the bottom because we can always trim this stick so that it's aesthetically, you know, looking a little more pretty. But you want to tie it as tight as possible. And you want to tie it as tight as possible because as fresh plant matter dries, it tends to shrink. So you want to tie it really tight so that as it dries, your bundle does not fall apart, right? So you want to tie that as tight as you can. So tight, tight, tight. And then I'm gonna knot it again. So now you can probably understand why you also should not use all dried material, because when we squeeze it and crush it to make the bundle, it'll all fall apart. And some of this lavender is falling apart, but it's okay because a lot of it's still there. You can see it. So I guesstimate, you know, because you can always add more twine. So I'll like measure it to here. You can see, I'll measure it. And you wanna do double the length. So if the length is like this, you want to do double it. So I'll get some more. And again, there are no, let me look up, guys. There are no hard, you know, answers to like, oh, what's right, what's wrong. This is really about you using your intuition. This is about you connecting with the smudge stick, setting your intentions while you're doing this, and really doing it how you see fit, okay? So I just wanted to say that to you guys. So you're going to tie this again, right? You're gonna make, with your new string, you're gonna do another tie at the base. I'll tie that nice and tight, as tight as you can stand it. Okay, as tight as you can stand it. So when I did that, my flowers just went flying, but that's okay. So you have it, your base, right? This is what it looks like. And then you're gonna take your twine and you're just gonna start wrapping like this. Now remember when I said don't worry about the flower petals because we can always add as we go, and that's exactly what we're gonna do. So I'm gonna add as I wrap. And remember, I had flower base, I had pink roses to mine because that's what I'm trying to invoke. If you feel like, oh, this is too much, I don't want to keep up with all of that because the flowers are falling out, then don't add rose petals. You don't have to. You can use all greenery if you want. This is yours. And see, you want to be tying it. See how it's coming out? You want to be tying it super, super duper tight. Because remember, it's going to loosen up as things begin to dry. So we want to get all this plant material in here. It's so funny how life takes you. I never thought in a million years I'd be doing demos. And see, I just ran out of twine, but that's okay because I got plenty more. So I'm gonna just keep on tying. You know, that would be my thing. Like, oh wow, look at me now. Now I'm doing videos showing people, you know, how to wrap their own smudge sticks. And you want it nice and tight. So I'm adding more roses as I go. And like, say you're like me, because now I feel like, whoops, I might actually run out. You can just cut the top of this if you run out. You know, it's not like, oh my God, you don't have any more. What are you going to do? Because you would not just start burning this. So I am wrapping this, and I'm taking rose petals as I need. And going as tight as possible around, right? Pulling it, you want to make sure all your plant matter is together. This is pretty. This is so pretty. I love it. It's turning out really pretty, guys. And I got a little piece left on here. So I'll tie some more, because why not? And now I'm done. So I'm gonna tie this into a knot. And remember, tight, 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 because as your materials dry, they will shrink. So this is what it looks like, guys. So I'm going to chop off this, and I'm going to chop off this, so I'm left with a stick. So you guys will get to see. But we want to make sure that we can heal ourselves, and ideally that it doesn't cost us an arm and a leg. So the base looks like that now, which is what you're probably used to seeing typically. Then I'm just gonna cut the top off of this. Now again, with better measurements, you'll get better at knowing, you know, how long to cut your leaves. But remember in the beginning, I was saying, you know, we're gonna eyeball this. So this is what it looks like. I'm going to trim mine because I like it to look really nice and neat. And that's just how I like mine. But you can leave it out if you want. But I just like more of a finished presentation. Be careful not to cut your twine because that can happen. I've done it. If y'all knew how good my room smelled right now, it's like you're walking into a greenhouse. It smells so good. I love it. So I cleaned it up a little bit, and this is how it looks, right? I think it's really pretty, personally. And I've been recording, so what, 20 minutes? And that's because I had to stop step by step and explain. But, you know, this is something you can do very easily. So here we are. Here is your sacred spiritual smudge stick that you've made, that you've set your intention on with plants and herbs that matter to you, that have the properties spiritually and magically that you want to use, where you want to connect with the earth. And then we're going to sit this out in the sun. Now, if it's summer where you live, you can absolutely sit this outside on your windowsill. This typically takes about 2 weeks to dry. If it's not, you can hang it upside down in the house. Like literally, you can put it on a hook and just hang it somewhere and allow it to dry, or you just sit it down. If you sit it down on a piece of parchment paper, just make sure you're rotating it, make sure it's in the window, and in 2 weeks, you'll be able to light this and literally smudge your space. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Here's our sacred smudge stick. I hope that you find this healing. I hope you find it empowering to know that you are in control of your healing and you can make and do anything you want, and you can truly heal from the inside on out. So here's our finished product, our stick. And thanks. You can also head over to my blog, Heal With Alece, ALECE.com. I have the written instructions printed on how to do this over there. So it's a blog post. So if you don't have time to watch this video, or if you're like, let me print out materials and what I need, everything is listed over there. Thank you for tuning in. If you feel so inclined, please like, share, and subscribe to Heal With Alece on YouTube. And I'll be seeing you soon. Bye.